Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Monday, May 17th. Thanks for being here for your top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start today with 2 new businesses joining the growing lists of businesses who are no longer requiring masks for fully vaccinated people. This is in line with the new CDC guidance that says fully vaccinated people do not need to wear masks outdoors, in crowds, or indoors if it's not a crowded space. So Target is now saying it will not be mandating masks in its stores for its customers or its employees who are fully vaccinated. Now, Target did also say if it's located in a local place or a state that is requiring masks, obviously those rules will take precedence. But what we do know here in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine has said he is amending the health orders to be in line with that CDC guidance that was released last week. And then those health orders will be dropped completely anyway on June 2nd. So not an issue here in Ohio as soon as those amended health orders come out. CVS had posted a similar statement saying that they will also no longer require masks for fully vaccinated customers and employees. Also already joining Trader Joe's, Walmart, Costco, and Starbucks, who said the same thing, dropping mask mandates for fully vaccinated customers. Now, here's a reminder. You're not considered fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after your last COVID-19 vaccine shot. That's whether you get the single dose Johnson & Johnson or you need the 2 doses of Pfizer or Moderna. So when you've had your final COVID-19 vaccine shot, 2 weeks after that, you are considered fully vaccinated. Now, to the million-dollar question, literally. People want to know how to get involved in the $1 million lottery for COVID-19 vaccines here in Ohio. It's being called the Vax-A-Million, the Ohio Vax-A-Million, and it is now going to be an opt-in situation. That was confirmed today. Previously, it was said that the state would use voter rolls, but they are now making it an opt-in process in order to make it easier to verify status and get the payout paid out as quickly as possible. So here is how you do it. You enter online visiting, before I say this website, it doesn't go live until tomorrow, okay? It goes live Tuesday, May 18th, and you visit ohiovaxamillion.com. It's spelled exactly how it sounds, ohiovaxamillion.com. Remember, it opens Tuesday, May 18th. You can also call the Ohio Department of Health. That phone number is 1-833-4 Ask ODH, and that will also not open until Tuesday, May 18th, and then there will be 5 drawings. Now, the deadline to enter for the first drawing is Sunday, May 23rd. You need to have at least 1 COVID-19 vaccine shot to be eligible, and you need to be ages 18 or up. You need to be an Ohio resident as well. It doesn't matter if you got your vaccine shot in Florida, as long as you are an Ohio resident who is vaccinated and is ages 18 and up for the $1 million drawing. Again, that'll be 5 weeks in a row. It starts May 26th and it goes every Wednesday. It'll be run by the Ohio Lottery. Now, if you win, you'll be contacted by state officials as soon as your name is announced. And yes, the winning names will be public, but this is opt-in. So if privacy is a concern for you, you don't have to be a part of the lottery. So everyone will be assigned a unique number, and then a computer will randomly pick one of the numbers as the winner. That's according to Pat McDonald, who is the Ohio Lottery's director. They'll select one winner, and there will be alternates, and then the Department of Health will verify all of the eligibility, aka making sure you are indeed vaccinated, you are an Ohio resident, you are 18 or older. Now, for the tuition, the college scholarship that's available for people ages 12 to 17, similar thing, you will also be registering at that same website, open tomorrow, or you can call the Ohio Department of Health at that same number, open tomorrow. Good luck to everyone. I will definitely be entering that lottery, or the shottery, as it is being called. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about money. We are now learning that the child tax credit will be available in monthly payments. Those will start July 15th. The Treasury Department said today that 39 million families will receive monthly child payments. That'll be beginning on July 15th. Qualified families can get a payment of up to $300 per month for each child under the age of 6. And up to $250 per month for children between the ages of 6 and 17. These payments are part of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package. Now, Previously, you had to wait until the time of filing, and it was capped at a $2,000 child tax credit, and it was only paid to people who had income tax obligations after they filed with the IRS. But this year, if you're a couple who earns $150,000 or less, you can get the full payments on the 15th of each month, in most cases by direct deposit, and the benefits are a total of $3,600 annually for children under 6 and $3,000 for those who are older than 6. And eligibility will be based on your 2019 and your 2020 tax years, but if you need to update your status, you'll be able to do that through an online portal. Also, the Biden administration is also working on a way for people who are non-filers, aka do not file taxes, to be eligible for this child tax credit. Now, today, Governor DeWine had a press briefing, and here is one of the things that he said. In addition to talking about the vaccine lottery and how that would work, he did say since the big announcements last week and since opening up the Pfizer vaccine to 12 to 15-year-olds and the other Vax-A-Million incentives, as they've been called, he's heard that local health departments and pharmacies are seeing more people coming in to get vaccinated. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the numbers. We're going to start globally. These numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. What we know now is that globally there have been a total of 163,181,275 COVID-19 cases. Now, here's a reminder. The U.S. has about 4% of the global population. We have 20.2% of the COVID-19 cases, and that number is 32,950,200 COVID cases here in the U.S. The total number of global deaths is at 3,381,774, and the U.S. makes up 17.3% of those deaths at 586,077. Now, both of those numbers are down 0.2% from Friday. So we're continuing to see that steady decrease pretty much daily of 0.1 of a percentage point. Here in Ohio, the Ohio Department of Health says there have been 729 new reported COVID-19 cases in the last day. We've seen 72 new hospitalizations, 872 people currently in the hospital being treated for COVID here in Ohio. And out of those people, 256 of them are being treated in an intensive care unit. We've seen 7 new ICU admissions in the last day. Now let's take a look at those vaccination numbers that Governor DeWine says are going up. Close to 38% of Ohioans are completely vaccinated. That's almost 4.4 million people, 12,000 people in the last day. We do typically see these numbers lower on the weekends. Close to 42% of Ohioans have started the vaccination process. That's almost 5 million people, and more than 14,000 have started that process in the last day. Now, as people get vaccinated, as we're seeing these orders change and we're seeing people who are more comfortable with doing things, we do have an update that people are going to have to wait a little bit longer for that Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and Poison concert. Their concert stadium tour has been delayed to 2022. And so now it will take place here in Ohio at First Energy Stadium on July 14th. 2022. That's more than 2 years after it was originally scheduled for July 3rd, 2020, postponed because of COVID-19. Here's what the band say. They say this is the only way to ensure that they can play all of the dates for all of the people who have purchased tickets. They appreciate people hanging in there. They can't wait to get back on stage and bring the stadium tour to all of their fans. They say it's going to be one for the history books. And that is something that a lot of people are looking forward to. So there's your new date. Mark that on your calendar, July 14th, 2022. Now, if you were part of Cedar Point's opening weekend, you might have experienced some long lines and closed rides. That's what we were seeing on social media, and some difficulties with staffing, so they didn't have as many things open as people would have necessarily liked. And we saw a lot of criticism of that online. Well, 3 News reached out to Cedar Point Communications Director Tony Clark, and he said that it was a beautiful first weekend at Cedar Point and that things are very popular and people are anxious to return to a sense of normalcy. And as the season progresses, they do anticipate opening more locations, but they did talk about employment challenges. And when asked to elaborate on those employment challenges, he said, like lots of places in Ohio and around the country, Cedar Point is not immune to hiring challenges, but what they have done to try and get more people there to work is they've enhanced employment incentives. They've added a $500 sign-on bonus. They've increased wages, and they've added new full-time year-round positions. They said with the health guidelines coming out this week and consumer confidence rising, they do expect visitation trends to evolve, and they'll adjust accordingly. that they hope everyone has a great experience at Cedar Point, but they understand that some people's experience might not have been quite what they had anticipated, and they will work with people individually to make that right. Now, here's a big notice that came out over the weekend. There's a proposal for lakefront development around First Energy Stadium, and it's being organized by Jimmy and Dee Haslam, the owners of the Cleveland Browns, the Haslam Sports Group. Now, this was first reported by Cleveland.com, and the plan shows a park-like sort of land bridge over State Route 2 and the railroad tracks, and a beautiful development around the stadium, Great Lakes Science Center, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and connecting it to the rest of downtown and the mall area by the Huntington Convention Center. Now, City Council President Kevin Kelly says that they've been talking about that bridge for a long time now. It's time to get it done, and he was very excited about the plans there, showing buildings, plazas, terraces, a playground, green space, and he liked that it was not a parcel by parcel plan. He said it was exciting to see something like this on paper far along in the planning stages. Now, this is all part of an application for Transportation Review Advisory Council funding from the Ohio Department of Transportation. That money won't become available, won't be awarded until later this summer, but that's what's getting this conversation going right now. We did ask on social media what you think of the plans, and we'd love to know what you think about that. I'll be talking about that later tonight in our 5 o'clock TV show if you want to weigh in there. One more thing to let you know before we go here. It's Cleveland Taco Week again, and you can get $2 tacos all week starting today through May 23rd. Just a couple of the places who are participating: Salted Dough, Blue Habanero. I have had Blue Habanero, and it is very good. Barrio is participating. If you're one of the many people who loves Barrio, now's your chance to get one of those tacos a little bit cheaper. Talkologist as well. We've got a list on WKYC.com, and more places are being added as well. And if you go to 5 taco places this week, you can get a stamp on your taco passport. We have a link to download that on WKYC.com. You'll be entered to win a grand prize of $250 in gift cards. Not a bad deal there. Okay, that's it for your 3 News Now update for Monday, May 17th. Hey, if you didn't know, this is available as a podcast as well. You can search for 3 News Now with Stephanie Haney to find it. 3 News is one word, and it's the number 3. And if you follow my other podcast, 3 Things to Know with Stephanie Haney, what I'm talking about this week is egg freezing. That's something that I actually did, so I'm sharing my experience, and I'm talking with an expert, one of the premier experts in this field, Cleveland Clinic's IVF director, Dr. Marjan Adaran. If you don't know what IVF is, listen to the podcast. We break it all down. We explain what egg freezing is. We talk about who's doing it. More and more people are doing it right now, by the way, why they're doing it, and what makes someone a good medical candidate for egg freezing. And I share about my experience in the before process. This is a 3-part series. Now we're talking about the before. Next week we'll be talking about during, and then after that we'll be talking about some of the other considerations, some of the legal issues, which is something that I find particularly interesting as a lawyer. Okay, that's it for your 3 News Now update today for Monday, May 17th. I'll see you next up on What's New with your trending stories in the Clicking in Cleveland segment, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now. Between now and then, everyone, stay safe and be well. I'm Stephanie Haney.